So I went to study to Bangalore at the age of 17, and the rumors were all around the town, like, and my father was really proud because for him it was like my daughter made it, and he was very proud. He would tell everyone, like, my daughter is studying in Bangalore, blah blah blah. But what changed things for me was culture shock. Of course, like, you are in college and everything that you are taught in life is being questioned. People are doing their own things, but I had a dream, you know, of being successful, of bringing laurels to my family. So my struggle did not end up in in that decision, like, do I want to drink, do I want to smoke, do I want to party, do I want to make a boyfriend? But it was much more than that. It was a struggle of a girl who dreamed at the age of 5 years of age that no opportunity will be devoid of her, like, she'll not be devoid of any opportunity just because she was a girl. So everything I have been taught in life was questioned. And as, like, I was crying and I reached out to my parents, they did not know how to help me. In fact, they abandoned me for having my emotions. For them, it was weakness. It was my failure in their eyes. I felt like a failure. And things just started to take a downturn at that time, because I was living alone there in my hostel room where I did not have any roommates. I was living all by myself, and I would cry. And I remember, there was a month or two where I would cry for 20 to 22 hours a day, and I would sleep only for 2 hours. And when I would get 1 hour break from my college time, I would come home, hide in the bathroom, call my mother, cry, and when she would not understand me, I would hit myself in the bathroom. It was a journey. It was a moment where my soul learned that I could not rely on these people. I couldn't trust people, because when I needed them the most, they hurt me. They abandoned me. They isolated me even more by shaming myself for having the basic emotions. So it was hard, because in the earlier part of life, I did not allow myself to have emotions, because I was fighting, against the society and prove myself as I'm no less than a man or a boy. So that's why I deserve to have all the equal opportunities. But then my body met a threshold where I couldn't afford being strong, where my body will show me signs of giving up. I wanted to die, and that was my tagline. I would tell anyone for like 4 to 7 years. I feel I would often tell my mother, "मैं बस मरना चाहती हूँ. I don't want to live." And I would say these 3 lines, and I vividly remember all of them. I want to die. I want to cry. I don't want to live anymore. And these were followed by a fidgeting thing that allowed me to calm myself in that moment. So I would often do this. And my mother would call me crazy. Why are you doing this? If somebody will look at you, they will call you crazy. And I feel a lot of mental health struggles started within my house because I wasn't allowed to cry. The question will come, what will people say? What will people think if they will see you crying? Like, Has your mother died? Has your father died? Then why are you crying like this? And I would often get to hear comments like this. Not just this, when I would be struggling too deeply in mental health, my mother would often talk to the doctors like I'm crazy, like retarded. And these are the real fears every mental illness survivor faces. They had this huge fear of going mental by themselves, in themselves. And for me, the biggest shock was that shock therapy which we see in movies. So, my biggest nightmare would be like, I will lose my temper, I will lose my control over myself, and they'll have to give me that. It was, it was, I wasn't, it was too much for a young girl who is fighting the external battles as well as the internal battles.